So I'm now going to work a pivot pin. I'm demonstrating this on a piece of chrysanthemum lace braid, but this equally works in Brugge flower. Just to note that in this piece, my left-hand edge is a foot side edge. In Brugge, you won't always have a foot side edge against your work when you come to pivot. So there's one in this piece, there is one more pin to work. So let me work that pin now, just as I have been. So I've got passives that I'm going to work through in cloth stitch. I've then got one twist and pin. And then come back. Now, in chrysanthemum lace, what they consider the outside of a piece of lace should always have a cloth and twist on the last passive pair. So where this star is on your piece indicates here that we're going to start it at that pinhole there. Now, while that's not the very outside, the very outside is that point there, and it doesn't make sense to start it on a pivot. In the middle of a pivot, so we're going to start it at the start of a pivot. So let me do the cloth and twist now. No need to twist beforehand, put the pin in as normal. Okay, cloth and twist to cover, and come back. So I'm going to work through all the passive pairs except for the last pair, which was my worker. Sorry, was my foot side alternating edge. So what I'm now going to do with the worker pair is I'm going to twist it 3 times. 1, 2, 3. And then going to go over and under that outside pair. And I'm then going to put another pin in. And in terms of where that pin should be, it's somewhere along that central line of the piece of work. You want it quite close to the other pin, but not too close to it. You could, in some pieces, put it quite some way across, depending if you're looking for an artistic effect. We just want it to fill the space. So I'm going to put that pin in there. Okay, and then I'm going to come back through everything in cloth stitch except the edge, which I'm once again going to do as cloth stitch and twist. Put an extra twist on at the end and put the pin in and then come back. Okay, you will find that they bunch up a bit. That's fine. So when I get to the last passive, twist 3, 1, 2, 3, round the back of that pin, so over the top and then under the inner passive. Okay, and then out to the edge again. Okay, so you carry on with that until you're ready to work that for the last time. So I'm going to cut the video at this point and I'm going to come back to it shortly. If you're doing chrysanthemum lace, the other thing that you will need to do at some point, and this is probably the point at which to do it, is to throw a pair out of your work, because the braid that you're going to go into doesn't need as many pairs as we've got. We've got 7 currently. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we only need 6 pairs for the braid. So look for 2 bobbins, not 2 that are next to each other, separated, like when we added. Lengthen those and put those to the back of the work for now. So I'm going to cut the video at this point, and when you see me back, I'll have gone round the corner. So I'm now at the last move of the pivot the last time I'm going to use that pin. So let me get to the pivot pin again. I mean, you can see that in my work I've been pushing pins down as I've gone around. So again, the 3 twists around the back of the pin, under the edge passive that I've not worked through, and then back to the edge. 1, 2. So everything so far is exactly as we have. What we're now going to do is we're now going to release the pivot pin. So literally take the pin out and then straighten your work. And what you'll see is that it is lying quite nicely there. It might initially appear to lie a bit loose. So what we're now going to do is we're now going to sew in this inner pair, and this is just to hold things in place. So I'm going to take the final pin of the foot side edge out, and I'm going to do a sewing, and I'm going to do that sewing into the edge, so it's a normal sewing, not a top sewing, for those of you that understand the difference between the two. So underneath, I'm going to catch my thread, pull the loop through, and then I'm going to put the other bobbin of the pair through. Put the pin back in to hold it all, and then manipulate my work so that it all looks nice and straight. So we are now ready to work the in this piece of chrysanthemum. We're going to work the braid that comes next, spiders or fishes, depending on which way you like to think about them. So that's a separate video for those of you that are doing this via chrysanthemum.